Hey YouTube, this is Yirmiyahu Weeps. I'm going to be going over what I think is the most important Bible verse. Now actually there's a couple that I think are kind of tied and I'll go into why. Okay, I think the most important verse is Bereshit chapter 1 verse 1. And in common English they usually say Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. But the Hebrew is Bereshit. Now, it's called Bereshit because it's the first word in the verse. It's the first word in the book. And that word means in a primacy beginning of. Now, it either means in a primacy beginning of or the primacy beginning of, and I'm not exactly sure which one, either a or the. I'm not positive which one. But I translated it as primacy beginning because it's a word that denotes like the head, the most important, and the starting point. So it's in beginning, but not just beginning, it's the primacy beginning. It's the first and foremost and most important. So in a primacy beginning of, and the way the word is constructed, I found when I was studying, was that the English word of would be at the end of it, okay? At the would be part of the way the Hebrew word is constructed, would accurately be translated as in either in a primacy beginning of or in the primacy beginning of. And it in English, so my understanding of the English would say, in a primacy beginning of Elohim filling at the skies and at the land. And the Hebrew of that would be Bereshit Bero Elohim et hashamayim wa et haaretz. And that skies and land. The skies is shamayim, and it could also be translated as heavens, I think, or the unseen realm. And the land would be Eretz, and that could also be translated the earth or the seen realm, the material realm. So basically it's saying in the beginning of Elohim filling, and that filling is bero, and it could also be fattening, so it's basically the idea of taking something that's thin or so thin it's basically nothing and filling it out, filling it up, giving it substance, making it full. So it's basically stating that Elohim is filling the skies and the land. Let me go to my notes on this really quick. Oh, shoot. Okay. The first letter of the first word, Bereshit, the first letter is Beit. And anciently, it's a pictograph. And it's a pictograph of a tent floor plan. That's what the letter is. It's a Beit, and it's a pictograph of a tent floor plan. So when they would see that letter, they would know that's a tent floor plan. That's a tent. It's basically a house or a home. And I think that, to me, what that letter says is the very first message that Yahweh is giving with the first letter of the first word is Yahweh is making his home, he's making his family, because that's what the home is about. It's about family. So that's the purpose. That's the initial purpose that's for the rest of Scripture, is Yahweh is making his family. Now, I'll just go into that really quick. Okay, Yahweh, from my understanding, that's how I understand the best way I know to pronounce it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll find out, maybe you'll tell me differently. That's fine. I'm just going with my best way to pronounce it. Other people pronounce it a little bit differently. To me, it's not that big an issue. His name means he exists, or the self-existent one, or he is existence. Now, the name Yahweh is composed of half feminine letters and half masculine letters. Now, I believe that that's a reflection of his characteristics, that he has masculine and feminine characteristics. Now, of course, Yahweh himself is beyond gender. He's not limited to gender. He made gender. but he's not limited by gender. He's beyond gender. So you couldn't say he's male or female or male female or something. He's beyond gender, but he has masculine and feminine characteristics. Now, most often, he's referred to as he. So he's referred to in the masculine most often. But one of his titles is Ruach, which is feminine. Another title is El Shaddai, which is also feminine. It means, well, I'll go into that really quick. It means the big-breasted one, having to do with sustenance and provision and mothering. So he's our mother, father, but he's beyond gender. But he's most often referred to as the masculine, but that doesn't rule out that he's also has feminine characteristics. He's our mother, father, mother. But the word Bereshit is composed of the Hebrew pictographic letters. The Beit, like I said, is a picture of a tent floor plan. So the Beit is the house or the tent. The Resh, the next letter is the Resh. It's a picture of a man's head. And refers to the first or the highest person. The Aleph is a pictograph of an ox head and denotes strength or power or ultimate power. And the Shin is a pictograph of two teeth, and it denotes to destroy or consume. The Yod is a pictograph of an arm or hand, and can mean my effort or my work. The Tau is a pictograph of two crossed sticks, and it would mean the mark or the covenant. When I put all of these letters together, the pictographs of the letters and their meanings, this is the message that I get just from inside the word Bereshit. From his own house, the foremost or the headman of the ultimate power will be destroyed or killed by his hand on a cross for the covenant. So, right there, just in the first word of Scripture, Bereshit, if you look at the pictograph letters, the Hebrew pictographic letters, the message is, from his own house, the foremost or headman of the ultimate power will be destroyed or killed by his hand on a cross for the covenant. Pretty awesome. So right there, the first word is testifying to Yoshua. But going on, I'll just go into my notes a little bit. So, Bereshit, the word Elohim, the first letter is the Aleph, which is the ox head, and can mean first, strong, or gentle, because oxes are the foremost work animal, and they're strong and they're gentle. The second letter is a lamed. It's a pictograph of a shepherd's staff, and it would mean authority, movement, or protection, because the shepherd is the one that's in authority over the flock, and the shepherd it gets the flock moving, and the shepherd protects the flock. So when I put this together, the meanings of the word Elohim would mean the prime mover, the strong authority, or the gentle protector. And Elohim is actually plural. The im on the end is like the s in English. It denotes plurality. So it would actually be prime movers, strong authorities, or gentle protectors. But it could be a plural of quantity or quality. It doesn't, and it's determined, you can see which kind of plural it is by looking at the verbs and adjectives used with the word. So if it's a singular verb, you know that it's a plural of quality. If it's a plural verb, you know that it's a plural of quantity. But here in this verse, it's used with singular verbs, so it's a plural of quality. So it would actually be the ultimate prime mover, the ultimate strongest authority, and the ultimate gentle protector. In this case, since it's referring to UA. Otherwise, it would just be very if it's referring to like a human with the plural quality. But here, since it's referring to the Creator is ultimate. So it's the ultimate prime mover, the ultimate strongest authority, the ultimate gentlest protector. So right here you can see it's proclaiming his qualities. who he is and what he's like. Well, he's the prime mover. So everything that has movement, everything that happens, all happening, he's the originator. He is the prime mover. He's the one that gets things moving. Atoms, molecules, every instance in history, he's the one that gets it moving. He's the strongest authority. So the buck stops with him. What he says goes. What he decides to happen happens. No one can stop him. No one. And everyone serves him. Everyone obeys him. If he says you're going to breathe, you're going to breathe. If he says you're going to stop breathing, you stop breathing. That's just the way it is. If he says this person is going to go and murder this person, that's what happens. Everything that he says to have happen happens. He is in ultimate complete control. Absolute complete control. And he is the gentlest protector. So his creation, when he creates with protection in mind. Protection is one of his primary things that he's doing. He's protecting. He's protecting what he loves. And he loves his creation. You can tell just from his name that he loves his creation. Well, going on. And plus, in the verse, it says that he created this. Well, I'll even get back to that too. But let me go on here. I'm reading my notes. The et. The Hebrew word et, it's not translatable into English. It's composed of the aleph and the tau, which in the Greek would be the alpha and omega, the beginning and the end. It's the first and the last letters of the Hebrew alphabet. It's the most common word in the Tanakh, which people call the Old Testament. But it's actually the Tanakh. It doesn't mean Old Testament. It'd be more accurately translated as original covenant, but going on. But it would also mean alongside and closely associated with. Like I said, the aleph is the first, strong and gentle, and stands for unity. Tau is the two cross sticks and stands used as a marker, stands for perfection. So basically the word would mean an ox toward the mark, a plow or a plowshare. It plows the path from the verb of a sentence, which is the ox, to the definite object, which is the mark. So basically, you have the verb, and then the et is plowing the way for the verb to the object of the sentence. The phrase aleph and tau is an idiomatic expression meaning the whole of the alphabet, or basically everything, probably standing respectively for Urim and Thummim, the sacred lots of the high priest used to determine the will of Yahweh, and also meaning all-encompassing. So aleph tau could mean all-encompassing. This word is in this word is in the exact center of the verse. The utterance that Elohim makes all creation through and identifies himself with in Revelation 1:8, 21:6, and 22:13. The aleph tau is in the exact center of the first verse of Scripture. Let's see. When it says the heavens and the earth, the skies and the land, the seen and the unseen, it's an idiomatic expression meaning the universe, everything. So it basically means everything. So you have, in the first verse, you have time and a primacy beginning of, space, Elohim filling the heavens. He's filling up space, and matter is what he's filling the space with. So there are multiple sevens in that verse. The verse is composed of 7 Hebrew words, 7 being the number symbolizing perfection, completion, and identifying with Yahweh himself. Feature 1, there's 28 Hebrew letters, so 28 being divisible by 7. 28 Hebrew letters in the verse. Feature 2, the letters of the subject and objects are 14, and the remaining letters are, of course, 14. Feature 3, the objects, the heavens and the earth, are composed of 14 Hebrew letters. Feature 4, the shortest word, et, is in the middle, and when combined with either word next to it, comes to 7 letters. Let's see. Oh, I'll just say these verses. I'm probably not going to do an annotation with this. So if you want to see related verses, see also Yeshayahu or Isaiah 40 verse 21, 44 verse 24, Yirmiyahu or Jeremiah 10 verse 16, Tehillah or Psalm 33 6 through 9 and 102 25, Mishlei or Proverbs 8 22 through 31, Eob or Job 38 4 through 7, Yochanan or John 1 3 and 17 24, Aben Beit or 2 Peter 3 verse 5, Ibrim or Hebrews 1 verse 2, 6 and 11 verse 3, Ephesians 1 verse 4 and 3 verse 9, Colossians 1 verse 16, and Revelation 1 8, 3 14, and 21 6. Oh, and 22 13, sorry. The sentence structure, the way the sentence is structured, the verse is structured, emphasizes that it was Elohim that did the filling, not as much emphasizing what Elohim did. The subject of the sentence and the following narrative is what was filled, the heavens and the earth. More accurately translated into English as, in a primacy beginning of the filling of the heavens and the earth by Elohim. So the focal point of the verse is that it's Elohim doing this. That's the focal point. For before Bereshit 1:1, see Mishlei or possibly see Mishlei or Proverbs 8 22 through 31, and Ephesians 1 4 through 5. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to comment on that verse. Yeah, I mean, you can see with that verse that Elohim is the focal point. The verse is all about completion. I mean, the verse, in a way, is summing up all of Scripture just in this one verse. Elohim is the one, he's doing it out of love and out of protecting what he loves, and he's making everything that is, everything in existence is made by him. All of creation is made by him. Everything that we know of in this universe. All of history, everything. The skies and the land, the seen and the unseen, the material and the immaterial, everything. Your thoughts, everything, created by him. The ultimate powerful authority, the ultimate prime mover, the one who makes everything happen. The ultimate gentlest protector, the one who protects what he loves. And if you go on through the chapter, you see that the cream of the crop of his creation, the summit of his creation, the high point of his creation, is creating humanity, male and female. That's the high point of his creation. That's the epitome of his love, is humanity. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, another thing. When it says, in a primacy beginning of Elohim filling the skies and the land, you see that that's a partial sentence. It's not complete. So the rest of the sentence is in verse 2. So you see that the beginning, their perfection of verse 1 is unfinished. It's perfect, but it's unfinished. It's not the complete thought. You have to keep on going. And I found that a lot of places, over and over and over again, verses start out with and. It's a continual flow of story. You don't just stop the story a lot of times. You have to keep on going and going. It leads into the next verse. It just keeps on going with the story. Yeah, so I see that is one of the most important, and I think that another of the most important verses would be either Yochanan Aleph, which would be 1 John 4 verse 8 or 4 verse 16. 4 verse 8 says, the person who does not love does not know Yihweh of Elohim, because Yihweh of Elohim is love. And that Yihweh of Elohim is from the Greek theos, and I believe it was originally in Hebrew, and the Greek is a second or third hand translation. However that works. I think it was probably in Hebrew, then maybe into Aramaic, and then maybe into Greek, and then into whatever language, English, but I think it was probably originally written in Hebrew. But with the Theos, I'm not always sure which one the Theos is referring to, whether it's Yahweh or Elohim. So I just say Yahweh of Elohim because Elohim means ultimate powerful authority. So when it's referring to Yahweh, so it would be Yahweh of ultimate powerful authority. So it's just as a description of Yahweh. Because Yahweh is love, and that love would probably be, I think, the Hebrew chesed, which is a caring. Oh man, I can't. You know what? I'm gonna try and find it real quick. If you hold on a second, it'll take me a moment to pull this up. I know it's making the video a little bit longer, but if you are interested, then you can bear with me. So if you're finding this interesting and worthwhile, oh, it's ahava, a tender attachment or fondness, a strong affection, So that's Yahweh, and actually with him it would be a passionate affection. Yahweh of Elohim is love, and Yochanan Aleph, or 1 John 4:16 says this, and we have come to know and to believe the love that Yahweh of Elohim has in us. Yahweh is love, and the one who resides in love resides in Yahweh, and Yahweh resides in him. Yahweh is love. That's who and what he is. He is love. So if you see that he is the ultimate powerful authority and absolute complete control over everything that ever happens, the prime mover, the one who decides what to happen when, he's in absolute complete control, and he is love. So that you have to look at anything in your theology, your beliefs, has to line up with those two things. His complete, absolute sovereignty and control, absolute complete control, and that he is love. So whatever your beliefs are, if they're about Yahweh, they have to line up with those two things. They have to. And to me, it can clear up, just those two things can clear up a lot of false teaching. Now, those are what I see as the most important verse or verses, and what I see as the most important commandments, which are like the most important verses, is this. The most important instructions. Listen carefully and respond, O Yisrael. And Yisrael means he turns the head of El. He turns the head of Yahweh. He gets his attention. Like when you see somebody that's attractive and they get your attention, they turn your head. Like that. Yahweh, your ultimate powerful authority. Yahweh is one, the only one. Singular, uno. Only Yahweh. No equals, nobody comparable to him. He is the only one. And all of you will love and be entirely devoted to Yahweh, your ultimate powerful authority, with all of your mind, heart, and will, and all that you think, with all of the entirety of who you are, and with all of your strength and all that you do, along with love your fellow human being as you love yourself. Those are the two greatest commandments, and all other commandments are derived from those two. They're a breakdown, an extrapolation of those two. And you can find those, give me a moment, in Devarim, or Deuteronomy 6, verses 4 through 5, Matthew, or Matthew, chapter 22, verses 34 through 40, Marcos, or Mark, chapter 12, verses 28 through 33, Lucas, or Luke, chapter 10, verse 27, and Wayikra, or Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 18, and I think that's it. So those are the two greatest commandments, to love Yahweh with all that you are and all that you do and all that you have, to know that He is one, He is the only one, and He is the ultimate powerful authority, and to love each other. Those are the two greatest commandments. So the most important verses that I see is Bereshit chapter 1 verse 1, and what was it? Yohanan Aleph, 1 John 4:8 or 4:16, because Yahweh is love. And the greatest commandments are to love Him and to love each other. And everything else is a breakdown of those two. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been interesting, helpful, beneficial. Wow, it's a lot longer than I was thinking. Anyways, shalom. I hope you're doing very, very well. And I'll talk to you later. Au revoir, arrivederci, shalom, slan, adios, dos vidania, sayonara. Bye.